You're listening to Thursday Night AMP on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Let's see if we can break down this show. Let's start with the one match that I'm calling the main event, whether it goes on last or not. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. So, Abby, I want to start with you on this.
I think they are going to go with that as the show closer. That's the word that's going around now. The word today also going around is they're going to bring Kane back in to interfere in the match, which is going to go over so well with that Brooklyn crowd. I don't know. I mean, WWE's basically taken away all of the Undertaker's mystique. At this point in time, he's kind of just a part-timer, but then again, so is Brock. I think it'll be a good match, but I think it's just going to be two big guys and they're trying to kill each other.
So
the most entertaining part will be watching Heyman at ringside and seeing what his face looks like.
But do you think then if Kane does an interference, or even if he doesn't, that we're going to end up with a non-finish?
I think if anything, we'll get I don't think Brock will win. That's about the only thing I'm willing to commit to. I don't think he'll win. Taker's going to have to get his win back, or it's going to have to end in a count out, or double count out, or a disqualification, or something like that.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing I keep hearing over and over again that I, towards the most part, lean to, is that they're trying to make this the big match of the summer. They're trying to make this the WrestleMania of the summer, but WrestleMania is still WrestleMania. And it almost feels like if they pull the trigger on Taker getting his win back now, then what would they do at WrestleMania? It seems like they would be stealing something from their true biggest show of the year if they did that.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to have Taker and Brock wrestle at every big show now?
If they think it'll draw 3 straight nights of sold-out shows, maybe they will.
There's only so much of that you can handle.
That's true. Well, let me get Jordan's thoughts on this. Do you think there's going to be a clean finish in any way, shape, or form?
Well, you look at this match between The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, and it's really hard to analyze because we have these two part-timers. We have Brock Lesnar, a guy who's been on a roll lately in the WWE, and now we have the returning Undertaker. And I like where this feud is going because Brock broke the most important thing to The Undertaker, and that's the streak. So this match is going to be really interesting. As for a clean finish, I believe so. I believe it's either going to be Brock getting the pin or The Undertaker getting a pin. But either or, it's going to be a great match to see.
I guess the only one I could see of the two options, if there's a clean finish at all, would be Brock Lesnar pinning The Undertaker again. That would lead Undertaker to try one more time to get his revenge in the third and final match. That would be the only way they could do it, is if he says, the first time you beat my ass, I'll acknowledge that. The second time, I came close, but you still won. At WrestleMania, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finally beat you. That I could see.
See, I'd rather be more nihilistic with this one. I'd like to say, in 2014, Brock Lesnar ended The Undertaker's streak. In 2015, I would like to see Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker. We do have two part-timer here. Why not groom Brock Lesnar to be the new Undertaker? Have him just completely decimate The Undertaker and take over that role. Granted, not with the gong and the eyeliner and the hooded robe and shit, but, he have Brock Lesnar be that new unbeatable badass. Have him be the guy that not only ended The Undertaker's streak, but that ended The Undertaker's career.
Yeah, but there's still that one match that so many people want to happen before The Undertaker's career is over. And that's Taker and Sting.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go with it, too. It's like, they can't end his career just yet.
We gotta have that Geritol on a pole match.
You call it whatever you want, but people will pay to see it.
People, I would pay the damn $79.99 or whatever it is to see Taker and Sting. And for me, that's part nostalgia and part because it still just pisses me off how he was treated last WrestleMania. And just maybe on the off chance that he could win one match in WWE.
Well, let me give you a off-topic for SummerSlam question, Abby, but pertinent to what you just said. The talk right now is that at Night of Champions, Sting is going to be part of a 6-man tag. He'll team up with Reigns and Ambrose against the Wyatt family. Can you see Sting getting the pin in that match?
I don't even see the purpose of having him in that match. I mean, it makes no sense. Of course, we are talking WWE logic here, so let me think that way. Yes, I could see him getting the pin in that match.
The only reason they would do that is because they can't put Seth Rollins back in the Shield. He's too much of a heel for that.
Well, he's, pretty much turned chicken shit and is very, very good at it, but I don't know. I can't see Sting doing a 6-man, and hell, for all I know, Vince would make him eat the pin just to, beat WCW one more time.
Yeah, I can't. The snark in me just won't let that one go. I have to agree with you there that Vince just seems to rub it in every chance he gets for no good reason at all.
It's like, I swear at WrestleMania when, Sting lost, I could hear in the background Vince cackling over a headset. I could just hear it. Just cackling in the back. Like, I beat him again 14 years later. I beat him one more time.
I had to be talked down for a whole week after that because I was hopping mad that night when we did the post show. I was hopping mad the next day. I was hopping mad on Thursday. It took me a week to get over that, and people kept pointing out, hey, look at what they're setting up for WrestleMania next year. They're setting up a mixed tag match with Triple H going in there and Ronda Rousey going in there, and they're going to have The Rock in there, and everything's going to be bigger because Triple H beat Sting. And
who the hell cares?
That was the only way people could talk me down from how mad I was about it. So
I'm still pissed off about it, and it's been 3, 4, 5 months. I'm still pissed off about it.
Well, you're getting me back to where I was back then. You're bringing that old fire back, but people managed to calm me down afterward, and I was not willing to let it go. I thought it was the dumbest shit ever. Especially
when the week before on Raw you had Sting say, this is not about WWE versus WCW. And then what the hell happens? Here comes the NWO. Here comes DX. It's all about WCW versus WWE.
And people were popping for that during the pay-per-view. They were like, look at all these legends coming out. Look at, we finally get to see this feud that never happened back in 1998. And
all of them coming out there on their walkers.
Yeah, that was my reaction to it too. It's like, first of all, these guys are moving slower than molasses, so they're really having to turn this into a garbage match to have these run-ins. And second of all, it just led me to believe we were going to get a fuck finish, and that's pretty much what we got.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the low point of WrestleMania this year for me. But we're talking about the WrestleMania of the summer, and that's SummerSlam. So let's get back.
Veered way off topic there.
That's okay. That's what we do on this show. So this one we may actually want to go off topic once we start talking about it. Randy Orton versus Sheamus. And on that note, I'm going to let Jason go first.
I hope Sheamus gets injured on the way to the ring, or that Randy Orton punts him real quick, or that Brock Lesnar comes out early and destroys both of them. I don't want to see Sheamus win, and as much as Abbey knows that I hate the punt, yeah, I don't want to see, I don't think anybody wants to see Sheamus win. Just go away, Sheamus.
I don't think anybody wants to see Sheamus, period.
Well, let's find out if Jordan agrees with that.
We're looking at Randy Orton, we're looking at Sheamus, and obviously these guys haven't had the biggest push lately, and now it's just like I said, I always say this a lot, I'm going to say it again, it's another filler match. It's the outcome's not really going to matter. It's just I could just see Orton winning it to get back on the right track, but nothing more than a filler match.
I think Jordan's probably on the right track with that one because Sheamus has the briefcase already, so he's kind of nigh invulnerable at this point, given that he can cash that in at any time and probably get the title. So they will actually feed him to Orton here just because of that.
Hey, Abby?
Yes?
You mentioned that nobody wants to see Sheamus?
Yes.
There's a simple fix to that, right?
Normally I just change the channel.
Well, no, all you have to do is just adjust the contrast on your monitor, and eventually he'll be the first one to disappear.
That's true. He is kind of white he glows.
Have you seen
anti-R-Truth?
Have you seen those memes recently where they're editing out Hulk Hogan from all these famous photos?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It'll be kind of the same way with Sheamus.
Just slowly fade him out. You can see Orton wrestling himself.
Exactly. That may be one of the greatest matches ever.
Honestly,
just put him in a G1 Climax match with a hard cam and those bright entrance lights. You'd never see Sheamus.
Honestly, as much as we all seem to hate Cena on this program, he had one of the best lights ever when he called Sheamus a jar of mayonnaise with a ketchup haircut.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
So we also have a winner-take-all match. Jon Cena, the United States champion, speaking of him, and the World Heavyweight champion, Seth Rollins. This time, Jordan, you go first. Who wins the winner-take-all?
Well, John Cena has the United States Championship and Seth Rollins has the world title. I think this is Seth Rollins' time. John Cena won the title so many times before. I think we're going to see Seth Rollins as the new U.S. champion and WWE champion just because John Cena's won the title so many times, and I know he can win it again, but I just have a feeling it's not going to happen at SummerSlam. It's going to happen another day. So I'm going to say Seth Rollins on this one.
All right. Abby, do you think he ties the all-time record for Ric Flair? Well, I know there's actually more title reigns that WWE doesn't count, but as far as they're concerned, it's 16 for Ric Flair. So do you think Cena does it or not?
Cena's name should never even be uttered in the same breath as Ric Flair. Ever.
That goes without saying, but we still have to make a prediction here.
I don't know. I'm seeing this one as a no finish, basically.
Really?
A DQ or a count out or something. Because part of me logically knows that Cena will win just because Cena wins always. And that, Vince, it's one of those other things. Vince will never let someone from another company who was not made by the WWE machine ever beat somebody in the WWE. So Cena will have to, tie or break Flair's record sometime.
But do you think they even see him as a Ring of Honor guy at this point? Don't you think they feel like he's pretty much their product now?
Who, Flair?
No, Seth Rollins, because you said they'll never let a guy.
Oh, no, I was talking about they'll never let Flair's record stand. Somebody's going to have to beat it.
Okay. I got a little mixed up there, and I thought maybe you were saying they'd never let Rollins go over Cena.
No. I just see this. I see it as a no contest or another double count out, something like that. Cena's, as much as I hate, loathe, and despise Cena, he's brought prestige to the U.S. title and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And, I just don't think they're going to take that off of him or give it to Rollins or let Cena be carrying around both titles because I think that building would just explode if that happened, and not in a good way.
I almost think the building's going to explode if we have 2 fuck finishes in the top 3 matches.
It's the WWE. WWE Logic 101 says we don't give 2 flying fucks about what the fans think.
Well, they're going to have a really pissed off crowd at the Barclays Center for Raw next night if they do that.
They've had really pissed off crowds before. They don't care. Wasn't the night after WrestleMania when the crowd started doing the wave because they were
Yes. As a matter of fact,
they don't care.
As a matter of fact, yes, they were.
I have a question about this match too. This is the United States champion taking on the WWE World Heavyweight champion, right?
Yeah.
And this is getting upstaged by not 1, but 2 singles matches where no titles are on the line.
Well, if you're referring to Kevin Owens versus Cesaro, I'd probably agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Because that's actually going to be a damn good match.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about that one then, Abby. What do you think is going to happen? Who goes over?
Cesaro.
That's it? That's all? Just straight 1, 2, 3 pin? No.
I'm thinking because of the way they've done Owens, I don't see them pushing him back up anytime soon. Cesaro has been steadily climbing ever since he teamed with Kidd, so I kind of see him going over in this one.
And there also seems to be a little bit of heat on Kevin Owens for putting on some weight lately, so that may be not working in his favor to get a clean win either. So, yeah, I'll go with Cesaro as well. Jordan, what do you think?
Honestly, this match is probably going to be one of my favorites on the show because we have Cesaro and we have Kevin Owens. Both of these guys have so much experience in independent wrestling prior to WWE, and you guys know I'm a fan of that, of course. And to see this match, it's going to be great, honestly. 2 former Ring of Honor stars, 2 fantastic wrestlers going at it in this match at SummerSlam. It's another filler match, but it's going to be a good filler match with great wrestling.
But do you have a winner in mind?
My winner, honestly, I'm going to say it's going to go to Owens because Owens, he's new on the roster, and I think it's time to develop even further, and I think it's the road to that starts here.
All right. Well, Jason, what do you think? Are you going to split it 50-50, or are you going to go with Cesaro?
I'm going to go with Cesaro because he needs it more than Kevin Owens does. Kevin Owens doesn't need the win. He can lose to Cesaro and still be strong, but with Cesaro just recently getting this push and needing to keep his momentum going to keep him credible as a legitimate singles wrestler on the WWE main roster, he is going to need to win this match, and he is going to win this match to continue getting his push.
And honestly, it's the very fact that Owens is so new on the roster that also hurts him here. It's like Cesaro has been around for a while, but he's been push-stopped and push-started and push-stopped, over and over again. They can't ever make up their mind. If they've really made up their mind, they're going to give it to the guy who's been around for a while as opposed to the guy who's new. So, that said, here's a match I'm not looking forward to in any way, shape, or form. Maybe even less than Orton versus Sheamus, because at least I always like seeing the RKO out of nowhere. But I'm not sure there's anything I like about Ryback, Big Show, and The Miz. Abby, tell me if I'm wrong about that.
I don't even care about that. I probably won't even watch it. That'll be, I'm doing dishes or something else.
That's your piss break match.
That's like tonight on SmackDown. They were so bored with their own match, they took a fucking nap at ringside, and that's how the match ended. Bored them to tears like it did to us.
Yeah,
I don't know. I see Miz coming out
matches.
winning.
Really? You think they're going to do a title switch?
Yeah. Simply
All right.
because, Miz needs a new accessory to go with his drag gear that he's been wearing here lately. So that big gold belt would probably look good with his dress.
Actually, I wouldn't call it drag. I like gender-confused Jedi.
Yeah.
That's a better description. But,
pissed off Star Wars fans everywhere.
Anyway, Jason, what do you think if I could stop laughing here?
Oh, God, I'm hoping the ring collapses like it did for Public Enemy back in ECW in '96, but I'm hoping this one goes like 3 minutes or less, because, God, this is going to be horrible. I think Ryback is going to hold on to the title because he needs it. Again, Big Show is over because he's Big Show and never needs to hold another title again in his life, and The Miz, well, yeah, he's kind of had his shot, and I don't think it worked too well, but yeah, I think they should continue to go with Ryback, and I'd like to see Ryback go over very, very quickly in this match so I don't have to watch it for very long.
All right, Jordan, how about you?
Yeah, after this analysis, I do have to run, though, unfortunately, and it was great being on again, but before I do go, I want to talk about this match, and I'm just going to say, I brought this up on the podcast I was on before, and it's just like, Ryback, I want to see him face two challengers, see something fresh, and to see The Miz and the Big Show back in the title picture. Not the biggest fan, The Miz and the Big Show. They're great wrestlers, great competitors in the WWE, but I just want to see something new with Ryback in the Intercontinental title picture.
You know what? That's a great point. I almost think he could do the Open Invitational a la John Cena and have guys from NXT come up and challenge him for the IC title. Give those guys a little exposure on television. I think that'd be great.
I think that's a good idea, too.
All right. Well, if Jordan, you got to run, I'll let you get in some cheap plugs since you won't be here to do it later.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And sorry I couldn't finish the SummerSlam preview, but it was great being on Angry Marks again, and I can't wait to be on next week.
All right. And everybody should follow you at Jordan J. Garber, correct?
Yes, follow me on Twitter, of course, at Jordan J. Garber.
And when's the next In the Room? Let everybody know when they can tune in for that.
Yeah, you guys can tune into In the Room every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central on VOCNation.com. A great show. We talk to some big names of wrestling. We talk great wrestling. Me, B. Hicks, Derek McDonald, Destro, and Kathy. We got you. You got your wrestling news and everything covered on In the Room every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central on VOCNation.com.
Excellent. Well, Jordan, we'll see you back here next week. Take care, buddy, and Godspeed.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a good one, guys.
All right. Well, now we continue on without Jordan because he's got to run, but we're halfway through the card, so we're almost done. Let's get on to Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper versus Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in tag team action. Abby, what do you think about this one?
God, I hope somebody in this match turns heel. I don't care if it's Reigns. I don't care if it's Ambrose. I just want one of them to turn on the other because all of this standing by your man shit is just ridiculous.
I won't agree with that. I'm sorry. I really like the bromance between Reigns and Ambrose right now.
Come on.
Sorry. I said this to Kevin a couple days ago. I actually like the fact that there are two guys who get along that don't turn on each other. It's just so cliche in WWE for friends to out of nowhere become enemies that I actually want a team to stay friends and stick together and fight for each other.
Well, Harper and Wyatt are doing that. They can be the bromance. You know, that redneck swamp thing bromance happening over there. But Reigns is never going to get over as a face until he has that cool suit wearing, ponytail wearing, sunglasses wearing heel deal. Ambrose would be such a great heel. And God, WWE needs some actually legitimate heels.
All right, Jason, what do you think?
I was going to say, yeah, it's a shame that you can't turn both Reigns and Ambrose heel in this match, because one of them is going to have to turn on the other. I'd like to see that team win. I don't like seeing, the Swamp Boys there, Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. It's Reigns and Ambrose are a more credible team. But yeah, damn it, it's like grow a pair and be the heels you were meant to be. This face shit just isn't working.
Well, maybe they could eventually. Maybe by towards the end of the year, you see them sticking together, and all of a sudden they're beating the crap out of whoever the tag team champions are. Just step right in and beat the crap out of them. It's like, hey, we're here on this scene now.
I kind of like the way Kevin thinks. So actually, I'm going to even go one step further than that. I'm going to say keep this team together. Don't have either of them turn. Have Wyatt and Harper win. Go on to the 6-man at Night of Champions, and if you're going to have somebody turn, do it down the road. So we'll move on from that to Primetime Players, Los Matadores, Lucha Dragons, and New Day Rocks. And tag team titles are on the line. It's a fatal 4-way. So Jason, you're up first.
I want to see the New Day get the titles back. I mean, that was like just starting to get over in the wrong way, with the fans actually doing the New Day rocks instead of the New Day sucks stuff, and I'd like to see that. I'd like to see them take the titles back from the Primetime Players in this match, but with a fatal 4-way with these 4 teams in, I can't really make a good prediction, but I'd like to see the New Day win.
I would as well. I think they've gotten about as much mileage out of Titus O'Neil being Father of the Year as they possibly can. It's time to move on now. So, Abby, what do you think?
I want New Day to win, too. I mean, they're like the only heel team, and they're chasing, I mean, it's the same match week after week. At least if New Day wins and gets the titles back, you have a variety of teams that can face them.
Absolutely, and I think that's the first clean sweep we've had on this show, so hey, everybody loves the New Day. Maybe that means they're not going to win. That's usually a bad sign. When we all agree on something, it goes the opposite way. Well, maybe that'll happen here in this next match as well. Amel and Neville versus Stardust and Barrett. Abby, you scoff, so you're going to go first.
Of course, Neville and whoever this guy is he's teaming with are going to win because he's the Hollywood guy. And the Hollywood guy is not going to lose.
He's the guy from Arrow.
Yeah, some C-lister Hollywood guy. I don't know who he is. I don't care who he is.
Ouch. I take it you've never watched the show then.
No, I haven't.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't usually watch it, but he makes enough cameos on The Flash that I know who he is, and I kind of like him. He's a very athletic guy. He does all his own stunts.
Hey, now, the way he jumped into the ring and went after Stardust a couple of weeks ago, that was pretty damn impressive.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, honestly, this could be a lot better than people think because Amel, besides being a Hollywood actor, is a real athlete.
He's like the male of Maria Menounos.
Yeah, exactly. And Menounos was way better than people expected her to be.
Yeah, but didn't he already say, like on Twitter or something, that he got hurt training for this match in the last couple of weeks?
Well, yeah, he was trying to do curls with a barbell and got a little too excited and cracked it into his jaw.
Oh my God. Yeah, he and Neville will win, and, Stardust and Barrett will once again be made to look like idiots.
Hey,
that's kind of par for the course for this entire year.
This is true, and that's a very sad commentary on the state of the WWE.
Hey,
Kevin,
don't crack jokes about Stephen Amell hurting himself. I mean, Jesus Christ, everybody knows that Kevin Nash tears a quad every time he thinks about doing a curl.
This is true.
We keep hearing that Kevin Nash is supposed to be in town for SummerSlam. God knows, I hope that doesn't mean he's going to run in on anything, because the moment he tries to run, boom, there goes the quad.
The moment he tries to run in will be the moment he tries to run in will be the same moment that Rey Mysterio tries to make an appearance as well, and they'll wipe each other out.
They'll both blow a knee before they get there, it's more like. We kid. We do love Kevin Nash, though. Well, maybe not Abby, but I actually do like him.
I like him. He's just one of those that's kind of overstayed his welcome a bit.
He's definitely more at the point where he should be doing autograph signings and like cameo appearances behind the scenes, not in the ring stuff.
Yeah, kind of like with Flair. You know, Flair's there for SummerSlam weekend, and it's kind of like, you know, hide your daughters and lock up your booze. Just, or, you know, lock up your booze and hide your daughters, whichever one it is. I can't remember. I can't ever keep them straight. But
or just don't have an open bar and invite Flair. That's all I can say.
And put a limit on his credit card, for God's sakes.
Don't even take his credit card. They're probably all going to bounce.
Poor Flair's turned into a joke. It's so sad.
Well, again, we can say these things with affection because we love Flair. So a lot of the things he's done to himself, and he doesn't even mind that he's done to himself. He'll tell you he was styling and profiling. He was just having fun being Flair.
Yeah, because he bought into the gimmick, and that's actually who he is.
Yeah, at this point, they're pretty much inseparable.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's talk about the other two matches. We haven't yet, and this is the one where I would probably go and do the dishes, and it's not because I don't like any of the people in this match. It's just because there are too many people in this match. Individually put any two of these women together, I'd be okay with it. Well, maybe except for the Bellas. But just in general, it's overbooked. You got Team Bella, Team Bad, and PCB. That's 9 women in a 3-team elimination match. It's too much shit. Jason, what do you think?
That was kind of the first thing that came to my mind. Was there were a couple, like I think it was the second last night of the G1 Climax where they were running like 10-man tag team matches. And with the guys, it didn't work with 10 guys in there. With women, it's going to be a clusterfuck. It's going to be a train wreck. I'd like to see Team BAD win, but that's just me. But yeah, it's going to be painful watching this many people in the ring at once.
Yeah, just take 2 out of these 9 people. Just give me Sasha Banks and Charlotte, and I would be over the moon, overjoyed. But let me get Abby's thoughts.
I would love to see someone other than Team Bella standing tall at the end, but, you know, after Nikki's been made to tap out twice, Team Bella's gonna win Sunday night.
Yeah, lose on Monday, win on Sunday. That's one of our old cliches on this network, so probably true. In fact, I almost feel like that's the story of Dolph Ziggler and Rusev, because they had Rusev look like a clown on Raw this week, which makes me think he's probably going over Ziggler strong on Sunday.
I don't even care. This is like the zero chemistry love quadrangle. It's horrible. You know, they haven't, that cold fish had better chemistry with, you know, Summer than anybody else does. But I don't know. It's one of these things I don't even care about. You know, Rusev, he was built up to be a monster, and now he's a joke. Ziggler's always been a joke.
Not always.
The dude started out in the Spirit Squad.
Well, no, the dude started out as Chavo Guerrero's caddy.
Okay, well, he was a caddy, a cheerleader, and now some throwback to a bad hair band. I mean, it's not like he's got much legitimacy anymore as anything other than somebody that can go in there and put on a decent match.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was the world champion for a cup of coffee, so he's got that in his back pocket.
Well, yeah, but it was for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't even get 5 minutes, so he's gotten more than most. I mean,
and he's been treated rather shittily since then, so.
True, but like I say, imagine Santino as the world champion. That would never have happened. At least Ziggler got that far.
But now Santino won that Intercontinental Championship his first night in, so.
Right, but he had a lot of help.
Well, true, but still, you know, it's kind of the same thing. I don't know, I say Ziggler wins, you know, avenging his woman for being put in the accolade or whatever it was she was forced to endure a couple of weeks ago.
All right, well, Jason, what do you think?
You saved the worst for last. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to either of these men getting in the ring. I wouldn't even be excited to see the cat fight that might ensue because they are such damn cold fish. Eeny, meeny, miny Ziggler.
All right, well, it's a 4-hour show. In any other circumstance, this would probably be a pre-show match, but it is what it is, so this ends up on the card.
Well, everything's going to end up on the card. I don't know why they even made this a 4-hour show.
Well, you got to figure that the Cena Rollins match is going to get a half hour. Lesnar Taker is going to get a half hour. They needed a whole hour just for those two.
Although, you know, there's going to be filler and stuff in there with Jon Stewart and whoever else they pull in there.
That's right. We didn't even mention that Jon Stewart is the host of SummerSlam. Do you think that adds or detracts from the show?
Neither.
All right, Jason, what do you think?
It depends on what side of the fence that you're sitting on. If Jon Stewart is immensely popular right now with him just finishing his run with his TV show, and I think it's going to bring in some viewers that were Jon Stewart fans, and that's good for the WWE. On the flip side of the coin, for wrestling fans, I don't think Jon Stewart is going to add much to the card that's just already kind of meh as it is. You know, he might have some nice zingers here and there, but I don't really think that he's kind of that infused and that ingrained that he can kind of work the material that's in front of him with wrestlers like he does for politicians. Granted, there are a lot of politics in wrestling, but I think he does political humor a lot better than he can do wrestling humor.
I don't know if I go that far, though, because Jon Stewart showed a very good aptitude for it when he had his segment on Raw a few months ago. And you can tell he is a lifelong wrestling fan just by the things that he said and did when he was there. For example, after he punted Seth Rollins in the balls, he was looking over his shoulder both ways backstage like, I know I'm going to get jumped for this, so I got to watch my back. It's like, thank you. Finally, a guest host with some intelligence.
Yeah, but I don't see him getting involved in anything Sunday night.
Probably not. I don't think he'll punt Seth Rollins in the balls again, but it was fun while it lasted.
Well,
I'd love him to do it to Sheamus, but hey.
Go ahead, Kevin. What were you going to say?
Even if he does get involved in something, he's got R-Truth has his back this time.
Oh, yay.
Well, that's the funny thing. It's a 4-hour show, and R-Truth couldn't find a spot in it somewhere.
He's the co-host.
Are you just saying that, or are you being serious?
I guess you didn't see the segment earlier today on WWE.com.
So you're dead serious about that?
Yeah, hang on a second. I'll find it here real quick.
Okay, well, I guess that's going to be a breaking news audio update. Is Kevin throwing this in? Although we're going to have to edit it out on the replay. So if you're listening live, here you go. R-Truth being announced as the co-host along with Jon Stewart of SummerSlam.
There you go. Former NWA World Champion R-Truth.
Ron the Truth Killings.
That's just sad.
Kevin, have you found that beautiful beam footage yet?
Hang on. Apparently Facebook has decided it's going to be slow as crap.
Well, why don't we start doing some cheap plugs while you're trying to pull it up then? What do you got to plug tonight, Jason?
Let's see what I have to plug. My cooking blog, my vegan cooking blog at veggiebending.wordpress.com. I'll give a plug out to New Japan World, njpwworld.com, the best 999 yen you can spend per month. And also plug myself because Saturday is my birthday. So there we go.
Very happy birthday. I hope you have a great weekend and get to enjoy a lot of wrestling programming over the weekend for your birthday.
Thank you.
Abby, please give us some cheap plugs.
Oh, let's see. Y'all can find me daily writing on topropepress.com. I have a weekly blog at ringsidenews.com. And next week with Pro Wrestling Authority, we're doing a Women in Wrestling Week. We're going to have interviews with people like SoCal Val, Alpha Female, Taya Valkyrie from AAA, and all kinds of good stuff next week. So tune in to PWA, see what we've got cooking.
Wow. Well, on that note, I will also throw a plug out to our very own Sierra Reed because she's doing lots of great things with PW Ponderings and Diva Dirt and many other places, and she's going to be super stoked to hear about that lineup that you've got coming up. That will just tickle her fancy and ring her bell, so she will love that, and we love the fact that she's going to be joining us again this weekend for our SummerSlam. What is it, pre-show and post-show, or just the post-show, Kevin? Which one is it?
Just doing pre-show.
All right, she'll be on the pre-show, but be sure to check out her and Frank Vaughn for the pre-show, and whoever all is on the post-show, you can check that out after SummerSlam. We're turning into our own WWE network here, but we're not going to do a pre-show before the pre-show like they seem to do these days. So we'll keep it simple. And thank you again, Abby. It was great to have you back on a second week in a row, and it's a true pleasure to have you on this show anytime.
Thank y'all so much. I love being on.
All right. And for all the people that were on the show tonight, Jordan Garber, Jason Harlan, myself, and Abby, thanks for listening. And of course, producer Kev, who chimed in here and there. He is the star of this network. We couldn't do it without him. So thank you, Kevin. And thank you all for listening to us. Good night, everyone.